Hey guys, so today's video is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be what if Turkey formed a European-only empire. Alright, so let's just get started immediately. So first thing they're going to do, which is pretty obvious, I think, is they're just going to take over all of Cyprus. Like, it's not even a challenge, though, is it? So yeah, that's going to happen. And then it might be thinking, oh, they're going to go after the greatest rivals ever, Greece. Yeah, Turkey. Well, no, they're not. Want to know why? Yeah, because they're like, forget that. We're going to save Greece for last. And they are just going to invade Bulgaria. Also, in this video, there's going to be no capitals. They're just going to surrender when I feel like it. So, yeah. So, the thing here is Turkey is just going to be pushing up here. They're going to be just cooking. When I say cooking, I mean cooking. So Bulgaria is like, man, we're tired of this, and we just don't want to do this. So what they're gonna do is they are going to surrender. And I want to say, hold up, guys. Let me try to figure out these borders. Let's make this the border. Yeah, that looks good. So yeah, that's gonna be the new border. Turkey is also, there's gonna be no NATO in this video because. So there aren't going to be any license unless like a coalition happens. So, yeah. So, yeah, Bulgaria is going to lose like half of its land. And so, now you guys get your wish. So, they are going to declare war on Greece. And you guys know how Bulgaria lost its land. And so you know how Bulgaria lost its land to Turkey? Right. They're going to see this as an opportunity to, well, get their land back. So you know what they're going to do? They are going to declare war as well. So Turkey is now having to fight on two fronts, which, to be honest, is not a problem for them. They're just like, oh my god. So now more. So you know, if you guys want to take more territory, and Turkey's like, Bulgaria, dude, the heck. So Turkey is just pushing in. And at this point, Greece's army is just non-existent. Like, Greece, I'm sorry, but your army is just gone now. So Bulgaria is going to be turned into a little pig. Like, just a little form of itself. So what's going to happen is, Bulgaria is going to surrender. And Greece knows they can't fight off by themselves. So what Greece is going to do is they are also going to surrender. So, yeah. So you guys might just be wondering, dang, Turkey is overpowered. But that's the point. They're trying to form an empire. And if you don't get like certain buffs and stuff, you can't. And if NATO doesn't exist, you can't. That's just I wouldn't say that's the problem. It's for like protection and alliances, but that's just the problem in the world. Like wars and stuff, it kills innocent people all because like people at the top just decide to, oh, I want power, but this was not supposed to turn into some psychological stuff. So let's get back to the video. Anyways, Turkey is like, we're gonna save up our army in Europe, and they're gonna go after Syria. They're gonna go after Syria, but as they're going after Syria, they also decide to declare war on, what is this, Georgia? Yeah, Georgia. Which, to be honest, wasn't a smart move, splitting up your troops. But apparently for Turkey, they don't care. So instead of immediately starting the division into Georgia and Syria, they just stay firmly to Syria. So they decide to push into Syria, all that good stuff. They eventually they eventually take half of Syria, and once they do that, they confirm the invasion into Georgia. And this is at the point where they split Georgia in two, and they take all of it. And at this point, bro, Georgia just cooked. So Syria, she says they're gonna surrender. So let's make the peace treaty. So I'm gonna say Turkey takes all the land they took in, give Syria some of the land back though, cause you can still be a nice empire. Bro, wow. So yep. Syria just got a bite out of Turkey. So Syria just got eaten up by Turkey. And what's gonna happen in Georgia? Well, really, this is pretty much all Turkey wanted from Georgia. This is gonna like half of Georgia. And also, this is gonna let South Ossetia and Abkhazia, I think, get independence. Ooh, and also, big news flash. Oh, and also, I need to edit this map. If you guys wondering where I got this map, I just searched up like simple maps in Google, and I eventually got it. It's just that it's just a bad map. Like, it's not as detailed. It doesn't have islands, which I'm happy about it not having islands, because islands are painful to color in. So yeah. So Abkhazia and South Ossetia are now independent. So we're just going to call them in white because they're not going to have any more significance in the story besides aiding Turkey, but yeah. So now that that's out of the way, Turkey is going to decide to focus on Europe again. So as soon as I get done coloring in Syria, dang it, bro, this is the worst part about this type of mapping. Anyways, like I was saying, we're going to leave that area alone. Anyways, as I was saying, a coalition is going to form against Turkey. It's going to be between Albania. Now, I know this might be goofy because we all know what the Balkans is about, but nobody said this was realistic. But does it have to be? It's going to be Albania, North Macedonia, Serbia, and Romania, all making a coalition. Now, at first, they push in a little. It's going all good for blue team this coalition, but little do they know, Turkey is overpowered. So what are they gonna do? They're just gonna completely be like, get out of our territory, fool. They're gonna push them back, and they are just going to wipe out everybody. And at this point, North Macedonia and Albania are just cooked. Like, North Macedonia is gone, and so is Albania. Serbia is getting pushed into a little, but the only person actually holding down their front line is Romania, because they are not sending troops to them. They're focusing on their border, even though they're in the coalition. So Serbia is gonna get like cooked and all that, and Serbia is just like, Romania, get your tail over here and help us. But Romania's like, nah, I ain't doing all that. Until Serbia starts launching bombs at Romania and finally passes the border. And once they pass the border, it's smooth sailing going for Turkey. They split their forces in half right there, which takes a little while to take like a month or two. But yeah, so they just keep pushing in. Like, it's just cooked. So eventually they're gonna surrender. So I'm gonna just show you guys the peace treaty. Yeah, Turkey's like, you guys should not have declared war on me. So so you might be wondering, what are they gonna do? They're just gonna annex them all. And for those out there who support Kosovo, Turkey's just gonna wipe them out. Because this one, let's declare war. So you might be wondering, ooh, Turkey's gonna go after these four. But no, they're declaring war on Moldova. Hey guys, on Moldova. Because there might be something happening with Ukraine that they're gonna do. Oh, and also, let's just say this is before the Russian annexation of Crimea and stuff. So yeah. So we all know what's gonna happen to Moldova. They're just going to get wiped out. And what I mean by wiped out, I mean wiped out. So we don't really have to talk about it that much because not really much to talk about. So yeah. So Turkey's gonna have one last war in its conquest. And that's gonna be a war against Ukraine. Oh yeah, and Montenegro joins in. Because why not? So at the start, Montenegro just gets absolutely wiped out. And I mean wiped. So now, all Turkey has to do is focus on Ukraine. Now at first, Ukraine puts up a good fight in some places, but ultimately can't hold out in all places. So like some places get open spots like here and here, which is kind of completely surrounded. Well, I wouldn't say completely because they have access, but yeah, it's completely surrounded. It gets encircled and stuff. They start crawling up until they hit the defense line here. So they have to stop there, and a little boat goes up into Crimea and start going into Crimea. Now, the thing about this is, you guys know how Belarus is considered a dictatorship. And once they see someone fighting an enemy, like since they've actually in this universe been going relationships with Turkey, they decide to join the Turkey side. Because they're like, we want some land, and they know, well, it's just that. I can't speak. They know that Ukraine's probably going to lose this. So they're going to push in a bit there and there, but ultimately they're just going to stop. They do not care. They just want to get some land out of this. So as this is happening, Putin and Russia finally like, oh my God, if they're doing it, we're going to do it. So they decide to join. What the heck? What is that? Oh, this map, bro. So anyways, please work, bro. Thank you. So anyways, I was saying, Russia's also going to join the war. So Ukraine's just getting smashed down on all sides. And the only person giving aid is Poland. Like, that's the only person just helping them. But they're not going to join the war because they're like, why not? But Russia's going to make some advancements. And at this point, Ukraine is cooked. So what are they going to do? They are going to keep fighting because why wouldn't they? So soon, Russian and Turkish troops link up. Same here with Belarusian and Turkish troops linking up. And at this point, Ukraine is just cooked. So they decide to surrender. Now let's make the peace treaty. So in this peace treaty, Belarus is going to get some land. Same thing. So Belarus is going to get some land. And Turkey's also going to get some land. And Russia's just going to get the rest of Ukraine. So after this war, basically, like, these three just decide, let's become great allies. And what do? They become great allies. And they promise if any of them get in the war, they would join. So yeah, this was a pretty unrealistic scenario, guys. But who cares? Oh my god, these boys look goofy. Jeez. But yeah, this is done. Oop, almost forgot to color in little. Dang it, I forgot the name. But yeah. So yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, also like let's just say a couple years later, it might happen in real life because Belarus is basically just a puppet of Russia. They are gonna form the Belarusian Union or the Belarusian Russian Union. So yeah, these are the final borders. Got Turkey looking big. We got 2 new nations on the map, missing one. Oh, and since there, but yeah.